It helped me a long way.
I know. All right.
But I wasn't expecting it.
Yes.
I should have looked at the book a bit more and one or two other things.
Yes.
I don't know what this is.
Yes.
That's only
too late.
cannabis. That's no use.
No, give it to me.
It's only if you smoke it, bloody old mutt.
No, I like to read it. I like to read it.
Yeah, but what it means is,
Yes.
I've still got to go through things, but what it means is I can be aware of things. Eh?
Yes. What are things of...
And then some of the things that has happened
Yes.
is I wasn't prepared for the things that they were.
That will happen.
That
yes.
would happen. And I
Yes.
didn't want to get myself into that state of let something happen and then do something about it.
Yes. Something you are on, you
And
do
then
something
when
about
I go back afterwards and I regret, and then I would have said, why didn't I get help? Why didn't I do something before?
Oh.
And that's what the question came up.
The course, do you need help?
And what it is, I did needed help,
Yes.
but it was way who to get help from.
But that's the truth. We cannot find ourselves help. It's so difficult. When you're young, you don't know where you to get help. Where do you want to get the money? You try to find a job, but nobody give you the money. They come in the money. Nobody tell you the government will give you the money.
Anyway, the only thing that did come about out this morning,
Yes.
they got my water thing up to date, which they didn't have before.
Yes.
And of course, I hadn't paid the thing by April because of the raids and all the rest of it.
Yes.
And they've held up a few things, waiting for inquiries. Eh?
Yes.
And would have happened is she still thinks that I was married.
Oh,
And what she done,
Yes.
she said, when she looked at the age, she said, I'm glad that you brought it up because we've given you the wrong bill. Eh?
Yes.
Lucky she remembered who I was, and she just, on the record, she said, I've altered that now.
Yes.
So she'll send me a new bill, and now I would pay, which is a lot less
Yes.
than I would have paid, because if I'd paid it, then they would have had to refund half the money. So I've saved them the money, and also I'm levelled up.
Yes, to level up.
So I'm, in a funny sense of the word,
Yes.
I've helped myself a long way this morning, and I probably hadn't done for a long time.
That's true. It's true.
But the problem would probably not go away, but what I'm saying, I'm much aware of it and can be adjusted.
Yes.
So really, in the sense of the word, I helped myself this morning, then I probably never had before.
Yes.
So it was a good boy. I'm sure Simon, that was living to me, he said, how good a morning did you get? Eh?
Yes.
And of course I ran into one or two and she said, how are you getting on with the other bit? Eh?
Yes.
But why was I targeted? I don't know. Eh?
Yes. All right. Yes.
Did you hear that?
Ah.
That's not neither here nor there, is it?
I get lost because you change to one thing to another.
But like you said, it's but there's an old saying in our family, when it rains, it pours.
Yes.
And it's nothing to do with rain.
No.
The answer is, when something rains,
Yes.
it means it'll either not come or it'll come together.
The light don't come or don't come together.
And what it means, when it rains,
Yes.
it rains occasional heavy rain,
Yes.
and it's just like, like something that's going to happen, whether it's going to rain today
Yes.
or it's going to be fine. You don't know what it's going to be. So things that are money,
Yes.
sometimes will come in one hip, or sometimes they may not come at all, or they're coming all over the place. And what it means is, when it rains, it'll
Yes.
all come together,
Yes.
or it may not come at all. And that is what that is expression is. When it rains, it pours. It means that all these things will either come together and muddle you up,
Yes.
or you're wondering when it is coming.
When they come in the rain. When it's coming the rain.
And what comes down,
Yes.
so you don't know, and you've got to sit and work it out.
Yes.
And some people it could be simple, another time it could be, in another way.
Yes.
And if you're not prepared for it, anything could happen.
Yeah, it's true.
And that exactly
Yes.
I saw on that,
Yes.
that if I don't catch it, I could end up with all sorts of things. And why didn't you get advice? Why didn't you do something about it?
Yes.
And then you got up to and say, well, I've got on with what I want to do, but did you get on with this, or did you get on to that?
Yes.
And you're more interested in finishing something off
Yes.
and tend to forget about that.
Oh,
And
that's
that is the bit
Yes.
I must have the voice and understand it better because of
Have you tried to talk to your mind to the Virgin Mary?
what?
You know, our men's,
Yeah.
when we marry to Christianity, we are girlfriends, boyfriends of the Virgin Mary,
Yeah.
and the women's are the girlfriends of the our Lord Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
who is our Lord Christ. Christ is so for us it's the Virgin Mary. It's our girlfriend. If we go into the sacerdocy, we become priests. Your wife will be the Virgin Mary. Well, that is in Christian Roman. So what it is, our girlfriends is the Virgin Mary, and you can talk to the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
And so you can talk to her.
Yeah. Well, that's
And your
why.
solitary, you can speak, Virgin Mary, help me. And you talk to the woman.
But what
Yes.
Pat said to me,
The Virgin Mary.
the old saying was,
Yes.
the answer. There's an old song, and it says, "The answer, my friend,
Yes.
is blowing in the wind,"
Blowing
and
in
it's
the
up
wind.
to you
Yes.
how the answer comes by.
How the answer
In
comes.
other words,
Honeymoon.
it means
Yes.
it could be spiritually, and if you sit, she would say,
Yes.
now work it through. The answer is there,
Yes.
but it's up to you how to go about it.
Yes.
And she said, if you stop and think,
Yes.
and work it through, get the best advice that you can get.
Yes.
This is how my father taught.
Okay.
And then
Yes.
you have a think, and then somehow, if you've been married before like Pat,
Yes.
how would she go about it? And she had ups and down problems of all sorts. Anyway, and like I said, I don't talk about that much. But what I'm saying is,
Yes.
get the proper advice
Yes.
and talk it through,
Yes.
and you will come to a conclusion
Yes.
how to go about it.
That's good.
And that is what I partly got this morning.
Yes.
And these two, which she said it would give me the best advice how to go about it and clear my mind
Yes.
before
Yes.
it comes to or that did I remember this? Did I do that?
Yes.
Did I get? And it's like a lot of questions. And what you do as you get to a period, you
Yes.
get on with your own things, and then they say, like my sister would say, or the other one would say, did you ask that person that question? Did you get the right advice? Did you
Yes.
And then you got to say, that's the way forward.
Yes.
And you got to think in your mind,
Yes.
how would he do it? They would do it, and that is the voice that I must get and clear in my mind.
Yes.
How to go about it.
Yes. And you say the Virgin Mary to help
and
you.
it keeps me on track.
Yes.
Not build up into a muddle and then expect the answer, because it's either going to be you're going to forget it,
Yes.
or it's going to cost you a lot, or you may not get an answer at all. In other words, muddled up.
Unless
So-
you drink.
And what they try to do is something like control the mind. And what you tend to do, my sister said, you
Yes.
put it to one side,
Yes.
get on what you're doing, and the question then,
Yes.
did you give me a call? Oh, what's that? Last week,
Yes.
and when I should have contacted,
Yes.
which you could have saved yourself that trouble, And then it's a weakness. We all have a weakness.
So
but what it means
you
is,
just travel to your place then.
what it means is, it's giving the right advice.
Yes.
It all goes back from the days of my father, many years.
Yes.
And what would they do? And spiritually,
Yes.
like you say, Pat has passed away. How would she go about it?
Life.
And it's life. But what it means is, don't get yourself into a muddle and then expect somebody to take it out. You've got to work it through.
Yes.
And that's what
try to work it through.
And then that is what I struggle with, and what tends to happen.
Yes.
Because life is rushing, and we rush through life.
Yes.
The things that we should be talking about tend to get muddled up, and like one said, if you sat and talked it through,
yes,
you can then probably get the best advice what you could get.
Yes.
And that's the weakest point.
Yes.
Though I'm clever at everything, nobody's perfect, but what I'm saying is, I've got to, get a system, work to the system, but not get myself into something and say, well, how did that go about? That should never have happened. What were you doing? And or
how you do it? How you go about it? And how you will do it?
And then it could be like somebody, and the other one who tried to knock me out. Even he might turn up on Friday. That's not going to help. And he'll want to know.
Yes.
How that fraud that happened.
Yes.
Anyway, when the other day.
Yes.
A few days ago.
Yes.
The bloke came up to check the kitchen. And I checked it up. He was from the council, but anyway, I checked it up with the girl, and she said he should have given you a phone call, and it said he was coming.
Okay.
Anyway, so he said. So he looked at the coal hole, which is part of the kitchen. And it sticks out. You should probably remember it sticks in the wrong place. It's like this bit sticking out the way, and you're thinking, by God, it's a bit cramped in that kitchen. And of course, when I put the things on the door on the wall,
yes,
they stick in the way of the door.
Yes.
You know what he said?
What would he say?
He said, if we knock that back,
yes,
you could then put your coat in the corner.
Oh.
Or extend the kitchen frames out.
Okay.
See?
Yes.
So the coats are not in the way of the back door.
All right.
But I don't know when all that would come off.
The coat will come off. Will it come off?
Anyway, when he came up.
Yes.
When he went, so he said, we contact. Anyway, what happened was the blokes that came up. And he said, you got damp bits in the kitchen, in the chimney, in the kitchen, in the chimney, which is nothing new.
Oh, okay.
But when you got buildings with chimneys, there was always something cockeyed.
Oh.
And if you got a fire with a chimney,
yes,
there's always problems on the ridge usually. In other words, the bit that goes down the back.
In your ridge, in your back.
When the water comes down, it comes and hits on the shoulder.
Yes.
And it's nothing new in old cottages like that.
Yes.
And the damp gets in the back. Anyway, so he sent the boys up.
Yes.
He sent the boys up.
Yes.
And he recognised me.
Yes,
but
I recognise you.
He said, how did you get all that sand down? He said, were you surprised? I said, so I was laughing about this 6-ton lorry.
Yes.
The bloody massive great thing. He said, how did you move all that sand on your own?
Yes.
So anyway, I said, have you got an ID? So he said, yes. I said, I've been having trouble. Right?
Yes.
And then he recognised me, and he said, anyway, he got the ladder, looked down the
chimney,
looked down the part of the chimney where he was. He said, I might be able to do that next week. He said, might be. He said, it's a crack in it.
Crack on the chimney?
And he said it's a 2 or 3 hour job.
Oh.
Anyway, it means it's got to be rebuilt and sealed. Huh?
Yes, let's see.
And anyway, so he said I knew who he was. So anyway, so that's coming.
Yes.
And what the cause of the trouble is,
Yes.
the one that I supposed to go down and look, which I should not have let in,
Yes.
he went round to check the gutters, and he said, "I'll look at the chimney."
Yes.
And somehow, the card must have been handy, and he picked up the card, and of course the card,
Yes.
somehow I must have left a pin.
Oh.
And what happened was, well, I didn't know anything about it until it came up on the statement.
Yes.
And anyway, when the bank checked over, he said,
Yes.
"You've got a thing there, you're overdrawn." I thought, overdrawn?
Yes.
And then I
You overdraw the
realised,
money.
so on the Friday,
Yes.
this detective might turn up,
The police detective.
you know, he might turn up.
Yes.
Because somebody stirred it up,
Yes.
one of them stirred it up. So he's gone off,
Yes.
and somehow he's got it on the computer, and we don't know what exactly how much, not for that. But anyway, when the bank went to check it,
Yes.
a whole sheet of list of things came out,
Yes.
and she counted out how many transactions.
Wow.
Instead of saying one transaction, what I can understand if I lost a bit,
How much?
goodness knows, I couldn't give you a figure.
20 transactions, 100 transactions. 100. How much money you lost?
A few hundred anyway.
Oh.
Anyway, on what it is, it might even be, we're not sure the exact amount. And
Yes.
what they've done, the bank suddenly stopped it, tore up the card,
Yes.
and they said, listen, and a friend over the road said, "How did you lose the card?" He said, "You didn't realise that was a fraud."
Yes. Heavens.
So I don't know what they did. Anyway, the bank has issued the card,
Yes.
and I've got to go and pick it up, which he's coming down with me, so he's like security and that, he'll be all right. But what I'm saying is, so the bank said, I expect
Yes.
there'll be a clause in that. Anyway, and what they're doing now, he's somehow gone
Yes.
off with that, and the bank said, and it's still a detective story because he's going to come up, and I've got to tell him more or less, they were doing some work
Yes.
back of the garage, and I think he was the man. That
Yes.
he had a van, not a van, but and a pickup truck,
Oh.
but we're not sure. They were cleaning the back of the garages.
Oh, okay.
And what he was, he'd come over to me over some cleanings and gutters, and of course I probably didn't pay the money, and he would not accept cash, he wouldn't accept a card, and then I thought, well, I don't know, this is strange, there's something wrong here,
Yes.
and somehow he said, Simon said, you should have contacted me, I could have got him red-handed, because he would have walked in.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
I nearly had some rope in my hand. I was going to tie him on the bar. And he said, if you had done, you could
Yes.
break an offence because you shouldn't do that.
But for what? For
Well, because you were accusing him, and he could accuse that I tied him up. In other words,
Yes.
officially,
The fish.
the person with the thief, yeah.
Yeah. With
But officially, I can't do anything. But I could get a friend to come round and chase him if I could do that.
Oh.
But I can't.
Yes.
I can't tie a person up if he broke. I could take pictures, I could do all the ins and outs,
Yes.
and I could trip him over, but I can't do any, because you would be doing offence, and I've got.
Yes. You cannot
But
do
anyway,
offences. Terrible.
and then anyway, he said he got this detective, and he said he might turn up on the Friday, so I've got to this week, and then they got to work it out. And anyway, according to the police, I would get all the money back, but
Yes.
he's still going to be caught for fraud.
No, we're going for fraud.
And he didn't want all that. He thought it was going to be easy. But I've got no really name, but not. And I said I should have.
Yes.
I should have gone out and checked on the number plate what they were.
Oh,
And
Yes.
what it is.
yes.
But the bank didn't mind the odd bit going out.
Yes.
But when they saw the list,
Yes.
they suddenly realised what's going on here.
Oh, okay.
So I can't disclose the figure because
Yes.
You know.
Too much.
And they said, my God. So of course they got the figures there down at the bank,
Yes.
but whether we can get hold of it
Yes.
is another matter.
Well, what matter is that?
Because of the matter is, will we catch the right one? You know, the police point of view,
Aye.
and but they can't understand why did he want to take that amount out.
How much it was? Like £1,000?
I wouldn't put a price on it.
£5,000?
Well, I can estimate near 1,000, but I'm not going to say no more.
Yes, okay.
But like you said,
Yes.
you can understand him taking a bit. But the trouble was,
Yes.
he'd have probably got it through the internet, and therefore, as far as they're concerned, and what I've done,
Yes.
basically, the bank said
Yes.
that I've probably opened something that I have to probably live on that uncertainty because there's a security thing being broke. And
Yes.
if they could do any figures, but there's always going to be that risk that I've probably let out something that,
Yes.
that I shouldn't have done.
All right.
In other words, it's not going to be as strong as it probably was.
Yes. It wasn't your fault. It was the fault of the thieves who tried to steal stuff.
And as far as the police are concerned, it's a fraud.
Yes.
But like you said, and anyway, and going back to all this other clutter,
Yes.
those sort of things,
Yes, my friend is sleeping. I got to move.
you know, like I said,
Yes.
those fears of yesterdays could trigger off those, which is fear of something,
Oh, okay.
and that's what I've been trying to get
Yes.
social to know how to handle it, and that's a bit why it was useful today
Yes.
because I've got backing and now know how in my mind how to go about anything.
Yes.
But before I haven't got a clue. In other words, I've not been taught the way how
Yes.
to react.
Yes. Yes.
And
yes.
that is a bit and it's a weakness I had, which is nothing you can do. It could be a mental weakness, could be anything.
Yes.
And how to go about it, and I don't want to get myself into a state that I could have got out before.
Yes. One day, you and me, we're gonna go meet a friend of mine.
But what it means, I'm teaching myself,
Yes,
right? But
we
what
do
it
that.
means is,
Yes.
somewhere in my life,
Yes.
the things that I should have helped,
Yes.
that was so many years back that I've never, visualised anything or taught myself anything. So, in one way,
Yes.
it's quite an eye opener, and also how to handle it.
Yes.
It's none of us is perfect, but what I'm saying is basically
Yes.
it's like being backward
Backwards.
and then being pulled forward.
Forwards. By whom?
Well, things in general, it's like you getting behind with things.
Yes.
In your mind, you can do things,
Yes.
but the other half of the mind, it's been pulled back.
Because afraid of money, housing.
and it could be all sorts of things in your way.
Tell me, give me an example.
But it's a weakness that come up probably of an older family or something. Anyway,
You're talking about the family, but the family is still with you.
no, there's no family. But what's it done
Yes.
with probably have an older family? It could be anything. And what
Yes.
it's done, it's left me with a slight weakness.
Right.
And according to my sister, according to got what I can go,
Yes.
it could be an easy lead.
An easy life.
Easy lead.
Easy age.
And what it means is people could put things on me and I wouldn't understand what they're talking about.
Oh.
In other words,
I believe you are very
in
intelligent.
other words,
Yes.
you've got to think before you say anything or look at things.
For
And,
this, you are a very intelligent man, and you know what the people.
it means
whatever. But the thing is,
and it's everybody's not perfect, but what it means is
yes,
you could be easy led into something
yes,
without thinking, and you look back at it and you say, silly bloody ass, and what I
happens.
got to do
yes,
is be aware of things more, and that's self-help, which I probably never had.
yes,
I've just carried on with things and it's just come out, and it could come out from loss of somebody, odd things, it could
Yes.
come out from anything, and what it is to help me on when I get on or on our own, that I can master it better.
yes,
And when you get somebody like a fraud or something that's happened,
yes,
you're not aware of it, or you can be led into something that you just don't understand.
true,
And that is the bit
yes, yes,
that
yes,
helped me this morning,
yes,
if you understand what I mean,
yes,
to give me some clue or some help
yes,
that I can be aware of it, and rather than let something happen and then not aware of it.
yes,
And that is the weakness of what I found out this morning,
that's true,
which is a good thing in one way,
yes,
which has helped me out, but what a time to come and tell me.
yes,
As though it was something there helping, but don't know when it was going to happen.
yes, all right,
And sometimes a thing comes to me when something happens,
yes,
but I officially should know before it happens.
it happens. So, but the thing is, sometimes you don't know what the future
That is
provides.
why
Yes,
that now what it says in my mind, that years ago
yes,
I used to talk about different things,
yes,
but I could be in one place
yes,
and you could be on something else, and then you could say, well, he confused me because he's not on the same wavelength as me.
yes, all right,
And I think there's a weakness I had going back, could be in my teens, could be anything,
yes,
and that is a bit. I think my sister would tell you
yes,
that because of the loss of Pat,
the lost flat,
loss of my wife,
yes, the wife, the poor wife,
it's probably brought that on.
yes, what?
It probably brought that on because you don't know how to talk to the
To the people.
to the person.
That happens to me. I cannot speak to other people because.
And what it is,
Yes,
if something happens, you're
Yes.
aware of it, but you don't know quite know how to go about it.
yes, true. It's true.
And that
It's
is
true.
what happened.
Yes,
And you sometimes, I don't do it in public,
no,
but I cried for 2 hours. Well, 20 minutes, I would say, 20 minutes.
people needs to cry.
And the reason why
Yes,
did it happen to me? And then I suddenly my mind clears up,
yes,
and then I'm all right.
you're right because you're a great man.
But what it means is,
Yes,
that is rare. One time a day would be more frequent, but it's not now.
yes,
But that is this is what the meeting would be with the social one or whatever. How to go about it and how I could do it, because my sister is far away, and I've got it's not like picking up your sister and saying she's down the road, or I've got to understand it. If she went tomorrow,
yes,
I've got to be aware
yes,
how to go about a thing where I'm not familiar in my own eyes.
yes,
And this is hard.
yes. I heard
And
you,
then
mate.
you've got to trust somebody, you've got to think of somebody.
Yes,
And it's not as simple as it sounds.
no,
And
crazy.
it's a thing how to live about it. My family, my grandmother lost when he went,
Yes.
when I was born. She lived with her daughter, my aunt, that got into her 90s like her.
Yes.
How did she go about it with her daughter occasionally coming in?
What year was that? What year?
well, it was in the 60s and all
Oh,
that.
1960s. Oh,
Anyway, what I'm saying is,
yes.
he passed away. He passed away before the Second World War when I was there.
Yes.
And my aunt used to do the work, and my grandmother, managed. And when there wasn't much, I used to go up and see her
Yes.
because she didn't want to go all up to where I was living.
Okay.
So I spent more time with my grandmother. They
Yes.
didn't like it very much because they thought I might pick up her ways,
Yes.
but it was very useful.
That's cool.
And
You
in
learn
other
from
words,
the best. Family.
I should have been with people
Yes.
of my own age, but being born of a
It was tough days that days.
being born
Yes.
of older
What
parents.
year have you been born? What year?
I was 45.
In the 1945 you were born.
Yes, and what it is,
Wow.
and what I'm trying to tell you,
Yes.
instead of born and brought up with people of my own age,
Yes.
I wasn't. I was brought up with older family.
Yes.
And what has happened is, I can see what has happened.
Yes.
I still think,
Yes.
sometimes in the older age, and sometimes I think in the new age.
That's
And what it
everybody.
is, I don't understand the youngsters as well as I should. And that where
Nobody
we were,
understand
and
them.
when we was living,
Oh,
there wasn't
yes.
much choice. Where I was living at Weldon, I wasn't living with the sort of people that I
Yes.
should have been with. And then, of course, when we got to a certain age, instead of settling down, my sister would tell you,
Yes.
there wasn't much choice of marrying or anything because we would, everybody wanted their own, so there wasn't choice. So, of course, I married late.
What year did you marry? How old are you when you marry?
I was in the about 30 years ago, 32 years ago.
How old are you were?
Well, if you take 32 for 70s, I was in my 40s.
42, 40 years old. I still not married. I'm still single.
Yeah, but what it means is
Yes.
that, of course, I don't understand. Didn't understand any of the youngsters at all. I could only understand. So I was always that far behind every time.
Ah, me too.
And then what's happened is
Yes.
certain things have travelled,
Yes.
and what's happened now, I can see it. The things have caught up,
Yes.
but it still left me. It still left me
Yes.
how to understand it, and you probably have some things yourself. But what I'm saying,
I haven't got a clue, mate.
and what it's done is, when things did happen and you was that far behind, you caught up. But there's certain things that shouldn't have happened because you wasn't aware of them.
Oh, okay, it's true, it's true.
And what's happened is, these things might have eased out a little earlier rather than now.
Yes, it's true.
And it's one of those things that you can't do, not much you can do about it, but the
True.
trouble is that some of the youngsters that they can do away, they think they can do anything they want. And
Yeah,
what's
they
happened
do.
is you could be the victim of something which is nothing to do with you at all.
That's true. That's the truth.
And according to I suppose, if I did catch up with the police over it,
Yes.
I don't suppose I would be nothing different than anything that come along. I've just been caught up with something.
I haven't got a clue, mate. I don't know nothing.
No, but what you mean is, I would probably get caught up with something that was probably common.
Yes. Oh.
And it was nothing to, and there was nothing to worry about because 9 times out of 10,
Yes.
I don't know who that is, that's not my phone.
No, it's somebody else.
But what he means at the end of the day,
Yes.
so I don't understand too much the
I
young.
see you. You good. Mwah. She works here. She's an amazing woman, hardworking woman.
Yeah, anyway, but,
Yes.
so between the lines,
Yes.
they would say it wasn't nothing unusual. You just got caught up in the wrong place.
Yes, that can happen.
But nobody can understand if there was something that was owed,
Yes.
you would only take what's owed.
Yes.
Instead of that, you mucked it up,
Beautiful.
and it was stupid. It should. If you take anything, you'll say, "Well, there's my whack. Forget the rest."
Yes.
And then you would say, "Well, I took my whack. There's your card," which I thought, but he didn't do it, and so for the police point of view, it's a fraud.
You used to drive a car.
So what he done?
No, your wife used to drive a car.
Yeah, she drove. Yeah,
Oh, okay. What car she used to drive?
a little Renault, not a Clio, a Clio.
Oh, you used to drive yourself
No,
as
I
well?
don't drive.
You never learned to drive? Oh.
But the
You
only
find a woman who knows how to drive.
what she could, she was an ex-rally driver.
As rally driver, your wife. She was famous, she was on TV.
Yeah, well, she used to go with Pat Moss.
But I'm gonna Google it.
Sterling Moss's contact.
Okay, I'm gonna Google it. 1 minute.